We're seeing the architecture community kind of move more toward the model of the film industry, where there are bigger teams, people are more open to collaboration, and rather than a masterpiece being kind of the identity of a lonely expert, it's really the result of a healthy team.
If I come to you and say, I want to do a building, well, that's great. Yeah, but I need it done in 4 months because the bank is charging me interest. If I tell you you can't do that, it's impossible. Are you going to listen to me or turn around and find an architect that will?
Traditionally, the architect is engaged by a developer once the land is secured, but we're pushing on that. We're pushing to have that relationship be cultivated more long-term and earlier so that we can be part of the actual premise of the project itself.
Many developers would approach us and say, what can I build here? Many times aren't interested in quality, or many times are truncated in their process by the people they owe money to make the project happen.
I think we're seeing a trend now, a small reaction to that, because our workflow enables us to very quickly explore high-level design ideas. We're suddenly upstream and we have a seat at the table in the early conversations. And so, of course, the business owner in me loves that because I can have a seat at the table for a potential client. But the architect in me likes that because I can not only define the solution downstream, but the premise upstream.
If you realize that what these clients know sometimes isn't more than a bit of arithmetic and where to get the money, if you can take care of that in your organizational structure of an architecture firm, then you can have a chance of being in control of a project. What if we purchase the land ourselves, we raise the capital, we build the building ourselves, and we control the economics and the physical reality of the building? In a sense, create a soup-to-nuts, self-sufficient design and development firm.
It takes a willingness of a new school type of architect to want to be able to play outside of the normal box, to be able to collaborate in real time with bigger teams. I like that our industry is going that direction.
We have a real estate and finance team that can find properties and also financially analyze their feasibility in terms of whether or not they're a deal, whether or not they make sense to invest in.
Where do we want to invest ourselves as designers? What should our process be, and what tools will we use to reflect that?
We wrote specific software in the BIM platform, model building quickly, see how much gross square footage you can get out of it, how much net, what your efficiency is of your building, and then you can value that by knowing what your construction cost is versus what the market price is.
We're going to be a good fit for clients who are passionate about the design process. We had to set up a studio that had both a technology and a workflow that would accommodate a very fast-paced, very iterative design process. We know where we're going to start to take them, but part of it is improv, where we're kind of riffing off of their answers and their input in real time.
But if it's in-house, you have a direct relationship, and it's much faster, because then you can have someone find a piece of property, and in the same day, someone can tell you what you can build.
Where the community trend is headed, what consumers want, what measure of density is appropriate in certain neighborhoods. And so it's a real privilege to have that level of impact.
And you can make a pro forma based on that assumption. And in New York City real estate, sometimes you need to make a decision in a question of a few hours, and you have to be ready to buy property within a few hours.
As a young studio, we have ambitions to launch beyond that. And so we're making inroads into several commercial projects, and those have their own challenges and opportunities and rewards. And so we're really hoping that from our residential roots, we can build something that grows beyond it.
So currently we have 7 projects. We have 3 properties in New York City that we own and we are developing, in which we're doing the architecture, we're curating the entire design team, we're filing at the building department, doing all the due diligence of a developer and a design team.
Not everything has to be a one-off trophy masterpiece, but it's really about assembling a body of work that together tell a story.
That's beautiful freedom on a project. That makes the difference between grueling work that's underappreciated sometimes and incredibly productive and high quality work. If you remove the economic aspect of a project, then you're free to design whatever you want. Now, if you control it, then you have your constraints, but they're your constraints to work with.